All right, everybody be nice now because we're going live.
Uh-oh.
I'm the one that has to be nice, you know?
Eh.
Okay, so we got that here. All right, welcome everyone to our neighborhood meeting. We have some pretty cool things that we can discuss tonight, but I did want to give everybody an opportunity to say hello and introduce themselves if you would like to. We've got, I'll just read down the list of the folks that I see. Miss Larson, I see you. Would you like to say anything or just say hi?
Hello.
All right. Well, hello. Thank you for coming. We have Mr. Armstrong, who's diligently taking notes and admitting people. We have Miss Rodriguez Bede. Anything you want to say to everybody tonight?
Just hello.
Hello. Miss Williams. We got Miss Williams.
Hey, hello.
We got a special guest, Miss Alyssa from BRV. She's going to talk to everybody in just a little bit about a really exciting project that she's working on. So we'll come back to you in just a little bit. We got Glass. Everybody knows Glass. Hey, Glass. We have Miss Carson. Hello, Miss Carson. We have Gary and Carol Betts. Miss Walker.
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good. We have our friends at the Shell gas station, Mr. Valentine, and we have Miss Tori. She's actually the manager at Walmart. Now, y'all be nice now. So, Miss, I told her that we would be nice if she came and joined us. So
It's all right, guys. I can take it.
So the biggest thing that I've shared with her is that, you know, we need the carts worked on in the community, and she is working on that as even more so. And we got Chrissy. I don't know who else, or Chrissy, but hi, Chrissy. Miss Rhines, Zolka.
Yes, hi.
How you doing, sir?
How are you?
Good. And then we got Cindy.
I'm sorry,
Hi,
all
Cindy.
the wrong story, but on the mend. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. And then we got a couple people. I think Mr. White is on the phone, and I think Miss Linda's on the phone.
I can't get video.
All right. Well, you can watch it on Facebook, on the Buckner Terrace Facebook page, or on the YouTube page. If you go to bucknerterrace.org, you can look at the bottom of the page, and there's a link to the YouTube page, and it'll be broadcast on there, and as well as on the Buckner Terrace our Facebook page. So we are all over. So if we can get started, the first thing that I'd like to do is if we can look at the meeting's minutes. I'm going to share my screen for just a moment. If I can figure that out. There it is. So I'm going to do that. All right, can everybody see this or not yet? Wow, I'm sorry, y'all. There we go. All right, here's the minutes from the last meeting presented by Mr. Armstrong. We actually went through, we didn't have minutes the prior meeting because we had the candidate forum. District 7, we didn't do the treasurer's reports. Last time we went through the abandoned cars and the crime rates in the neighborhood. Councilman Basil Dua talked about the new development. And we had the Shell gas station was here. And Rob Baldwin presented the new housing development that's coming to Timberlawn. So with that said, can we get a motion to approve the minutes of the last
So
meeting?
moved.
Thank you, Mr. Jesse. Can I get a second?
Second, Eleanor Walker.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. And anybody have any comments or discussion?
I'm
And
happy to
all,
say the lights on Jim Miller between Forney and Linewood Trail have been restored and it looks good.
awesome, great. Thank you for everybody that called in and reported that. So can I get all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. The motion carries. We've accepted those minutes. And our financial report presented by, I'll present it for Mr. White since he can't get online. Our beginning balance of April 1st was $2,077.43, and we ended with $2,042.62. So we maintained pretty well. We do want to, I want to make one caveat to that is if you haven't paid your dues and if you'd like to pay your dues, Mr. White is happy to take your money. It's $24 a year. It's voluntary. We're an advocacy group and we can advocate more with money. So we appreciate everybody that has paid. And with that being said, can I get a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
You mean the
So
treasury
moved.
report?
Or the treasury's report? Sorry, you're right.
Who moved? Who was who first?
Oh, I think
Ms.
me,
B, thank you, B. B. Rodriguez, and seconded.
Eleanor Walker.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. All in favor, or any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, motion carries. I did want to share one thing that on the, I'm going to share it real quick here. On the Buckner Terrace website, on the bucknerterrace.org/meet, where we go to get our link to the meeting, right here, you're going to see a link that says click here for the minute meetings or for the meeting minutes and click here for the financial reports. All of them will be saved in this folder going forward. So if you want to go back and read them or look at them, you're welcome to do that. So that was just a side note. So, all right. I'm going to stop sharing. All right. And then we can move on to our next item that is our crime watch. Mr. Glass or Officer Glass, what you got for us, sir?
Yeah, guys doing today? Sorry about this pillow. It's because I got a crook in my neck and my back. So I had to be a little stable. This is my only concern. We've been doing really well. I want to congratulate you guys because the only thing we've really done is a little bit of BMVs, which is Burger Motor Home Vehicles. And these stats are coming from 425 to today. So we've been having a little burglary, probably two within the month of within this month. But this is my concern. If we go from Jim Miller and east, which we consider the 318s beat. Concern is that the stats are low, but we have a lot of burglary of a motor vehicle. But I just received something very alarming. Speaking to Skyline Place Apartments, Rockton, the townhomes, Solana Ridge, and on Bella Vistas, those apartments, we're getting a lot of non-calls. And when I'm calls is that somebody sent me a video of a gentleman getting robbed in the apartments, and they literally robbed him, took $1,200 from him, and he did not call the police.
Oh.
And then I started canvassing the area because in the Dallas Police Department, we're stat driven. we've been doing a great job, but I guess we haven't on our end. It's because I had close to 10 people getting robbed in that area that didn't call the police. And it's that trust issue that we have been speaking about for a long time. So my concern is if you can reach out to that area, reach out to them to get them to make police reports, that would be a lot easier so I can start identifying what's going on. And I think that's my only big at this point is that nobody's in that area is calling police. And my big concern is that if they're not calling in that area, they're going to start going to the west side of Jim Miller, which is the homeowners area.
Well, no, we're on both sides of Jim Miller. We go all the way to Buckner, but you're speaking more in the community, in the neighborhood of homes. The crime isn't really affecting us as much as it is in the apartment complexes.
Exactly.
So
that's what I'm saying.
Contained to the apartments, and it hasn't really spread into the neighborhoods yet. Manuel actually did our crime stats, and let me share the screen one more time because the crime stats that Manuel shared, can everybody see that? For April, the crime stats, only 0.61% of the houses were affected by a crime. That's all of the neighborhood, like 2,760 homes, and less than almost 0.5% of the homes, only 16 incidents. So 99.39% of our homes were unaffected by a crime. So if you can see the trend, it's actually gone down. We were closer to 1% most of the time, but it's been down 0.65, 0.65, 0.57, 0.61. So our crime is pretty low. Now, when we get into the businesses and we get into the apartment complexes, we do see an increase. But that's my biggest concern is that once we get the businesses and the apartments, is that nobody's necessarily calling. And this is something that I have been for the last 2 weeks. I think I spoke with Daniel about this. I'm heavily considered 318 week. Is that okay? Now we have to be heavily talking to people, building those relationships in that area for that side of Buckner. Oh, we lost your sound, Glass.
And I have spoke with all the apartments, and I is that we're going to start trying to have not even a monthly crime watch, but probably I'm have to contact them at least twice a week just to see how things are going, what's going on, and we're going to be doing foot patrol. We did a pop-up safety in Skyline Place apartment where the crimes are occurring. And we talked to city attorneys, we talked to the risk detectives, we talked to all those. So we've been in meetings on how we can effectively change the narrative of that. My thing is that I don't want it to spread. And then we have bigger issues where we can just kind of be aggressive now. So that's my crime stats. And I want to thank you guys because you guys have been reporting, have been calling, have been reaching out to me personally on trying to get things done. Any questions, concerns?
All right. With no questions, thank you, Officer Glass.
Help me here.
What do you want to do?
Officer, I do have a question.
Go ahead, Mr. Betts.
What, in your opinion, when those are picked up and put in jail, what is your opinion of who stays in jail and who goes out of jail? In other words, what I'm trying to find out is who is getting prosecuted and who is getting let go, and what is the reason for letting criminals back out of jail that are criminals?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
I think his question is basically if the folks that have been arrested, who's remaining in jail and who's being released. I don't know that that's necessarily on the police department versus the county and the jail.
I'm looking for Officer Glass's opinion.
My opinion is that it all depends on what the crime is and what their criminal history is. So if we got first offender, most likely, sometimes if it's not something major like murder or robbery, they're most likely going to get out sooner than those. But at the same time, most people learn, and if it's petty crime, a good kind of system of if they're part of a gang, we got to, you know what I'm saying? If they're part of like a gang or if they're part of any criminal activities, we are quickly in our gang unit or our any kind of unit will on them.
Excellent. Thank you. Any other questions for?
Notify me and say, hey, Glass, we just had this guy get out.
Any other questions for Officer Glass?
I would like to ask a question. I'm not sure this is a question or merely a comment. This is Carol. I taught elementary school in down here in 75217 for 41 years. Recently retired, wow. And in my opinion, of course, I'm coming from the perspective of an educator. It's education. It's education from the bottom up. And I think I would like to be involved in that. I'm thinking of an initiative when my own kids were little. I guess it was 20 years ago. And it was, my kids knew to approach an officer because they were going to get a trading card from the Dallas Cowboys or whatever. And my kids were taught when we go to McDonald's, there's an officer there, speak to him. And I don't see that happening anymore. And I know that it doesn't happen. Now, I'm not talking about Buckner Terrace now, but 75217 is just down the street from us. So I saw it with kids, and I really think, and I would be very interested in working on an initiative where we can start at the bottom up, and maybe that could happen in those apartments over there. We did the census last summer. I saw a lot of that, and I know exactly where you're talking about. And it's we got a very strange climate now, but I really would like to be involved in any kind of initiative that I could be involved with kids and getting kids. If you get kids on board, generally it helps.
Ms. Betts, we did an event down in the William Blair Park down by Joppy, or not, I'm sorry, by Bonton.
Right.
And the police department did a kite festival with our state rep Jasmine Crockett, and Councilman Basil Dua sponsored this kite festival for kids. And it was an absolutely beautiful thing. Some of these kids, it was the first time that they had actually interacted with the police officers, and they were flying kites with them. The officers were helping the kids fly kites. And I know that they've actually talked about more events like that now that we can start doing events again. So I think you're spot on with that. I think it does start at the children. It does. Let's get them comfortable with our good officers. Our neighborhood police officers are here to bridge that gap and help bring them to a place where, they can trust the police. So hopefully that will help along the time. So, all right. Thank you for that. Anything you wanted to add with that, Glass?
Yes. I think that kite event, even though I was at another event, I was told that event was amazing. And the thing that the NPOs are right now in the city is that we're trying to build a parent club for parents to come. We're going to provide them with a financial advisor, a therapist, and a fitness coach, and whatever else they probably need. Because what we have seen is that most families are not in that 75217 area, are not complete families, what we can consider complete, like mom, dad, either grandma is raising kids. So we're trying to get the parent to get stable on their feet so the kids could be more stable. And so that's something that the city and myself and NPOs are working on to kind of build that relationship with them also. So I think it's important to grab the parents as long with the youth to make those things happen. So that's something that we're working on, and we're going to be putting on several events for that.
I think the next event that they're going to do is a fishing event down at William Blair. So anybody that likes to go fishing, we're going to go down there with some kids and go fishing. So I'll let everybody know when that is happening. All right. Thank you, Officer Glass. I think if we don't have any other questions, we'll move on to our next topic. Oh, go ahead, Mr. Manuel. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know. Maybe you discussed this because I just got into the conversation here, but I wanted to ask Officer Glass what are his thoughts on this constitutional carry bill?
Okay, now I got to put my politically correct hat on.
I know it's a politically, so you can answer it any way you want.
Okay. I don't think it's a good idea, to be honest. And this is my personal, because I think that my thing about guns is that you have a lot of people that would carry guns but don't understand the mechanics of shoot a gun. So if you get into altercation, if you don't know how to properly use it and you just carrying it, you're going to hit somebody that's innocent. And that's a big thing, is that those bullets don't have any name. They don't have anything attached to them. Kid that might be a bike, or a mom or dad walking, anybody be walking out there are innocent. They could get hit by a straight bullet that's not properly, they don't know how to properly use. So I think that's a terrible idea, that you can just walk, open carry, do whatever you want with things that could take people. So I think it was an unthoughtful bill, to be honest.
Well, even Wyatt Earp and Tombstone required all the people to deposit their guns while they were in town.
Yeah. So I'm an advocate for firearms, but only if you know how to properly use them and understand what they could do to people and what it could do to yourself.
So what, in your opinion, officer, why was the law passed?
Because you have
I think that might be outside. That gets a little bit too political, I think.
You have mass shootings, and I think the mindset is like, if more people have guns in an area that shootings happen, they wouldn't happen. That's what I'm guessing. But technically, if I was more political, I would. But this is just my personal opinions on that. But these things should be so very much. Very much, but people don't understand what a firearm can do.
All right. Thank you all very much. Let's move on to the next topic. And one of the next things that is near and dear to everybody's heart is in our city is Fair Park. And Miss Alyssa is going to give us a really cool update. They're working on a plan. So Alyssa, you want to take it away?
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a year or so since we were last out. So last time we saw you at a meeting in person, we were talking about the master plan update that we have actually gone and published. And one of the first projects that's coming out of this master plan update for Fair Park is this community park. So we have actually this year we have hired on our park designers and have started getting out in the community as much as you can in a pandemic to get insight and to get feedback on what people want to see. So we launched that around March. Now that things are kind of clearing the way, we are actually going to have our first in-person meeting on Fair Park's campus next Tuesday, a week from today, at 6:30 at the Fair Park Coliseum. It's going to be an indoor-outdoor event, and we're actually going to be getting some more feedback and getting some more input from the community. And we're looking for people like y'all to come out and join us and really put your mark on the park of what you want to see and what would be valuable in a park, a large park, a 14-acre park in South Dallas on the campus of Fair Park. We identified the location in that master plan that I referenced. It's going to be right there off Fitzhugh and Lego. next to the Dos Equis Pavilion. I'm going to drop some links in the chat in a second with some more information on the event that I just mentioned. But we're really excited. We're going to be showing some very initial concepts of what we're thinking of doing with the space, how to, bring the ecologies and the horticulture of Texas and the Blackland Prairie into this space, creating some really lovely views of the surrounding community and also to downtown. Some people don't realize this, but there's some really nice topography on the side of Fair Park and in South Dallas. So we already have really lovely views from a parking lot that's there right now. So yeah, we're really excited that this is underway. The plan is to do neighborhood meetings and engagements through October of this year. I know we're kind of working against the grain with some of this pandemic stuff and things that are being, relieved, but also there's just some hesitation. So we're going to be coming out, doing more of these things, presenting more things, getting more granular feedback. But I wanted to at least invite y'all out to June 1st. And just to give a quick overview of the schedule, we're doing engagement and design work through the end of this year. By January of next year, we plan to have a schematic design that we can take to permitting and approvals and all that stuff over the next year, over 2022. And then starting construction 2023 with an opening in spring of 2024 of this 14-acre park that we referenced. Also in tandem, we're doing a lot of other work. I'm not sure if y'all have seen some of the press. We have a capital campaign that we launched, really looking to revitalize the totality of the campus, from the historic art, the historic buildings, and also looking to add other green spaces and other parks all along the perimeter of the campus as well, and really just create an inviting experience for our neighbors here in South Dallas. So I can ramble a lot more. I'm going to drop a couple things about what I've referenced in the chat for you guys to take a little bit of a deeper dive, and then hopefully we can actually sit down or have a full presentation to your team around this park as we get further along and maybe in a month or so. But yeah, if y'all have any questions or any thoughts, I welcome them. And I think that's all I have for now.
How many trees are they going to plant in that new master plan? Just a rough estimate. Go ahead.
Well, it's over 1,000, but it's somewhere between 1,200 and 1,400 technically that we're looking to put on the campus of Fair Park to increase the canopy and remove all that gray space. Yes.
It's awesome.
Yes. Yes.
And have they announced their first donation yet? Has that come out yet?
It came out today, actually. So we did get our first 7-figure gift.
How much was it? What did they announce?
It was 1.5 million from Caruth, Caruth Family
Absolutely.
Foundation.
So I think their campaign, what is the campaign total that they're working on? Like 65 million or 85 million?
85 million for phase 1 capital improvements. Yeah.
Right. And so they announced their first $1.5 million today. And I know I've heard there's another announcement coming out real soon.
Very soon. Yeah. We're lining them up. So.
And I know that you're with Biederman, but what is the group? What did Fair Park First? They just got nominated for something. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, they got nominated for D Magazine's Nonprofit of the Year. So one of, I think, 4 or 5. So that also came out yesterday. So a lot of news is hitting on Fair Park right now. So yeah, it was an honor for Fair Park First to get nominated in their second year of existence. Truly. It's
absolutely wonderful. And I get the pleasure of joining them on a lot of their different things, representing y'all on the park board. And I can't speak highly enough about the group of people that are working so hard to improve Fair Park to be the absolute gem for the entire city, but it's going to actually be a gem that is going to actually be a good neighbor to our friends in South Dallas, which is majority of it is in District 7 with us. So
yes.
it helps everybody. The park is going to be definitely revitalized. So thank you so much. And she's going to post the links in there and we'll put it on the Facebook page as well. So that if you have any questions, let us know. Anybody have any questions for Miss Alyssa? Manuel, did you have a question?
No.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
I was curious what the plan for managing parking is going to be during the fair. I know that parking space is a poor use of space most of the year, but do you know what they're planning to do during the fair?
Well, right now we're in tandem. Fair is doing their own parking study for their event, and then we're also doing site-wide a parking survey to look at what we need. So the master plan does propose offsetting the loss of parking from some of these improvements with multi-tiered structures or 2 to 3 story parking decks. So we are actually already put out an RFQ for a parking deck that's going to be adjacent to the community park that will offset some of the parking loss on the site. Obviously, car culture is very prominent here in Dallas, in maybe 10 to 20 years, that might be changing. So we're also keeping some fluidity to some of those changes. Now, State Fair does own their own parking as well, and we can't speak to what's their future there. But for the site, we are looking at offsetting the loss of some of that, not all of it, but most of it, to at least meet the needs that are present right now and that we can foresee in the next 4 or 5 years with some decks, if that helps.
Excellent.
Going vertical is the way to do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Look, it's better than having large swaths of gray. It's just have a little stack of gray.
There's a lot of exciting things coming to Fair Park. A lot of they're trying to fill the buildings. A lot of those things are in the works, but nothing. The oven is still baking those plans, so nothing is ready for announcing yet. But
not quite.
Excellent. All right. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you, Miss Alyssa, for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
And I don't know if anybody had any questions. We have Miss Tori. I don't know if you want to say anything. Tori is our manager at Walmart here on I-30 in Buckner. We've already covered the fact that we have a lot of carts in our neighborhood. And one of the things that I actually talked to her about is, do we take the cart when they're full of people's stuff? Because we have a lot of homeless people that are using the carts. Do we take those carts? And they typically do not take those carts because, I guess it's when they're there, they don't want to do that to that person. So that's what we're seeing in the neighborhood. But with that being said, if you see carts in the neighborhood, she is more than willing to take a list of those. And when they have their pickups, they're going to try to swing through and get all of those carts in the neighborhood. So please do let us know. Are you here, can you hear us, Tori? There you are.
Yes, I'm still here.
All right.
I will post my contact info in the chat. That'll help me with that. So we actually have it set now on a bi-weekly program. So every other Monday, we have a company that comes out, canvasses the area. So if y'all have specific locations, obviously they're not going to see everything, not like you guys will within the neighborhood. So if y'all have those specific areas, if y'all can just shoot me a text, I can get it to them. I know that's probably been the biggest concern that I've heard, and I appreciate the feedback. That's what we're here for. And I want to make sure everyone knows that. If y'all need anything at all, please feel free to call me, to text me. We want the feedback. It's how we get better. So I'm going to put that in the chat. That way you guys have it.
Awesome. Thank you, Tori. And I know they're going to come next month, and we'll take a deeper dive in our hopes and dreams for Walmart. And we'll work on that. We do have a special guest that just joined us. I'm not sure if she's able to say anything for a minute, but our state rep, Jasmine Crockett, is actually on the House floor working. Hey, Miss
Hey,
Jasmine.
guys. Hey, Daniel. Hey, everyone. It is a crazy session. If you've attempted to keep up with the news, then you know that it's been an onslaught of just nonsense. More questions than answers or solutions have been provided. So we are on the floor until midnight tonight, for sure. But I definitely wanted to jump in for 2 seconds to let you know that I really do miss you. I can't wait to leave Austin and come back and just kind of debrief and find out what other issues are really plaguing our community, and get ready for the next session where hopefully we can take up actual issues that are relevant for most Texans.
I don't know about y'all, but that's dedication that she wanted to join us this evening, even just to say hi. So on behalf of the entire neighborhood, Jasmine, thank you for working so hard. I know it's been a stressful thing. It's not everything that you have wanted it to be and some of the things, and you fought hard for those. So thank you for that fight, and we appreciate it. So thank y'all. All right, do we have any other questions? I don't know if anybody had any questions we have Shell gas station is with us again. They did put some flowers in the corner. I think that's, something that should be flourishing at the moment with all this rain. But they have done some, and if you haven't visited the station yet, please do, so that we can provide them feedback of things that we'd like to see there. Does anybody else have anything else to add? If you haven't yet, we're in the middle of early voting for the runoff. It's one question on the ballot. I think you all know where I stand on that, and I hope that you all support our current councilman. He's been doing an absolutely fantastic job for our community. There's a lot of things that are in the works, a lot of things that they're baking in the oven that they're not quite done. But remember that we do have the new grocery store that's coming. For those of y'all, I don't know how many of y'all have been here long enough to tell me it was where the Kroger was at one point at John West and Buckner. It's going to be a new grocery store, and it should be next September is when it's planned to open. So that grocery store should be coming soon. He also worked with a Cornerstone Church in South Dallas to do another nonprofit grocery store in the South Dallas area off MLK and I believe Irvay. And there's some other cool stuff. I know this was close to some folks' heart too, the aquarium at South Dallas or at Fair Park. It was slated to close. The zoo was losing money, and it was a difficult decision at budget time in the park department that we couldn't sustain it because we haven't been able to be open because of COVID. So they were going to close it, and Councilman Bezeldua actually came together and found the money and bought us some time. And we actually have a vendor that is in the process of, we're finalizing that contract and hopefully getting a vendor to bring to the council to run the zoo, or I'm sorry, the aquarium going forward. So it's going to be kept open, and it's actually, we actually get to go. If you've ever been to St. Louis, there's supposed to be a new aquarium that just opened up there, the St. Louis Aquarium, I think in Union Station or something. And I actually get to go visit that. So I'll send pictures and share what that is like, but I'm excited to see that. I think that long-standing aquarium that's been there for generations is going to be a fun thing to revitalize and bring back to life. With that, is there any other questions that anybody else has? Please do vote. The election, or the Skyline Library is open. Samuel Grand Rec Center is open every day through the 1st, except for Monday, which is the holiday. The hours, I believe, are like 8 to 5 most days, but we'll post the hours on the website, on the Facebook page. Is there anybody else that would like to add anything? Anybody? Wow, everybody's quiet tonight.
Okay, somebody has something in the chat that they wanted to.
Oh, this is Carlos. I live on Hollow Ridge. I wanted to just bring attention to the homeless man that has been living Everglade Park for the last 2 weeks. He's not bothering any, but he might need help. I've actually asked, and on the park, thank you for that. I'll I'll follow up with park staff. I actually asked, we have some walkers that walk in our park every day. And I've been trying to communicate with them to say, you know, hey, have you seen this person? Because I heard about it yesterday for the first time. And I go, has anybody gone over there and seen our new Japanese maples that we finally got? Y'all have heard me talk about those maples for 5 years. We finally got them. They're planted. There's some boulders over there. So go check it out if you haven't seen it. It's along Everglade. And it is not done yet, but it's in process and it's doing well. So, but if you are at the park, if you are walking and you do see the homeless person, please text me, and then I can push that up to the Office of Homeless Solutions to try to get the gentleman some help. So let me know if you see anybody driving on their park. Please let me know that as well, because if they're driving on the park, we have some marshals that will come. They drove on the park a couple weeks ago, and when they were leaving, they ran over a tree that we had planted 5 years ago. And that was, you know, pretty disappointing that we lost one of our, we're up to, I think, 100 trees. Like we're right around the 100 mark for as many trees as we planted as a community in Everglade Park. So we're making progress. The exercise equipment's in, so meet your neighbors. Let's get that. We're working on National Night Out October, on the first Tuesday in October. So it's going to be back this year and we are going to do it big. I've actually been plotting with Miss Tori at Walmart. They're going to do something special for everybody. So we're working on it. I don't know if we can do it yet, but I talked to the folks at Fletcher's Corny Dogs, and the only caveat is that they don't like, or they're not supposed to be catering outside of the fair time, or like when the fair's going on, and the National Night Out is during the fair. So we may not be able to get them, but I'm working on getting Fletcher's Corny Dogs for our event. So, you know, if you don't ask, you don't get. So we're working on it. So if anybody has any ideas of what you'd like to see at the National Night Out, if you'd like to help with National Night Out, let me know. Other than that, anything else? Anybody?
Yeah,
Anybody?
Dan.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
know they're gonna have a water aerobics this summer at the pool?
I do not know if we are, but I can ask and I can let you know.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I do know that the pools will open. We have a grand opening for a pool, X-Line. It's a family aquatic center. If anybody wants a membership, they're actually discounted, I think, by 20%. It's not a big discount, but there's a discount on the family passes or the membership passes. And I'll post that in the on the website or on Facebook page. But any other questions with that? It is about time to go swimming. So I do know that our pool is opening this year. And we're working on that. We're working, it's not a final deal. I don't know if everybody has gotten their COVID vaccine or vaccines that wants it, but we are working on a COVID vaccine event over by Skyline High School, I believe. I think we're going to do it in the parking lot. That's actually with State Rep Jasmine Crockett's office and Councilman Basil Dua and Buckner Terrace are all working together to bring that to the community and the extended area. But if anybody else has anything else.
You know what date that is?
We do not, it's not finalized anything yet, no. But I do want to add the curb sticker, the curb numbers that we have. I have a bunch of them. Every time I have a little bit of time, it's not dry. They have to be very dry when they're installed. So if you haven't got it yet, have patience. I will get it to you. I'm working on printing out the instructions and then I'll deliver them hopefully in the next week or so. But the election is almost over. We'll be back to normal. And then everything can resume. Anything else? If nobody has anything else, we can entertain a motion to adjourn. Anybody? Anybody? No hands? Is that Miss Marion?
Did we
All
get
right.
a treasurer's report?
We did have it, and you can
Okay.
find it. You can find it at bucknerterrace.org/meet, and down about midway through the page, you can read it in person. It's posted there in a folder.
Yeah, so move.
All right, thank you, Miss Marion. Second, Miss B. Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Thank you all so very much. I'm glad that we had a light, easy meeting because we were pretty deep for the last couple. Please don't forget to go out and vote, vote, vote. Buckner Terrace is known to vote. There's only one race on there, and it's vital for our community. So please vote, vote, vote. Thank y'all.